Hey guys, it's me again. So this is the first discussion of the week. I ask this question every semester. You're probably tired of hearing about it. I want you to post a video as well. If you don't post a video and you're like, my videos don't work and I have to type it, I have to take some points off because come on, it's a video. I want you to say who you are, where you're from, what you're looking to get out of this class, and the fourth thing is maybe something personal about yourself. Okay. So I'll start. Jeff Seaman, your professor. I'm a full-time professor at Point Park. I'm an associate professor of applied computer science. I first started here in 2018, and this is, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. So this is continuing my 14, 15 semester, whatever the case is. So been here for a minute. Previously, before I started at Point Park, I had taught at my first teaching as an adjunct professor at CCAC, Community College of Allegheny County. I started at the North Campus up in McCandless. But over the period of the 4 or 5 years that I taught there, I think 5 years, I taught at different campuses. I taught at the main campus in Allegheny, across from Heinz Field. I call it Heinz Field. I taught at the Monroeville campus and also taught at West Hill. So I taught all over, but main place was McCandless. I also was an adjunct professor at West Liberty University in West Liberty, which is over near Wheeling, West Virginia. I taught graduate studies for 5 years there. It was a technology course that I taught every semester. Now I don't teach at any of those places. I just teach primarily at Point Park. That's it. Too much work to teach multiple places. Started my industry. Started in industry in 1999. Worked for a company called Charter Communications. It was owned by a guy by the name of Paul Allen, who was the co-founder of Microsoft, and he has since passed on. Maybe a couple of years ago, whatever the case is, he owned the Seattle Seahawks, the Portland Trailblazers. So pretty profound individual. I started my career there doing technical support. People calling in with problems with their computers. Mainly, my job was to help support internet issues. So this is going way back in the day. Probably stuff that you guys don't remember or even know about. His troubleshooting people with their 56K modems, or 28.8 or 14.4 baud modems. And we're early stages. We were getting into cable modems at that time. We were using something called a hybrid modem, which you dialed in and then you still had a modem and you got some speeds. And people would call in, they had viruses, and I'd walk them through. It'd be like a 4 or 5 hour walkthrough. And then if we couldn't figure it out, then we'd go to the house and troubleshoot. So that was my first initialization working in technology. At this point, I had already dropped out of college. I won't say dropped out, that's a bad word. I took some time off college, I'll put it that way. I did one semester. I wanted to study computer science. My parents didn't want me to do it, so I said, all right, I'll study accounting. Hate accounting. No offense to you double majors out there. Then I got into computer science the second semester, but then I took time off and did some other things, like work for UPS, joined the police academy, that kind of stuff. And then once I kind of got where I want to get back into technology, that was 99, I started a job without a degree. I'm not telling you to do the same pattern I did. I eventually went back to school and obviously got my degrees and so forth. But that was my first exposure and really liked it. And then I kind of, passed through different places. I went to another cable company after that called Comcast, but it was called AT&T Broadband before they got bought out. Long story short, majority of my career I spent working as a database administrator, software developer, director at some point. Now I started my career in 1999, it's 2025. I currently work at PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC. If you're downtown, you see that building on Grand Street has the PwC. You can see it from Point Park. That's the company I work for. My office is actually located in Tampa, Florida. I work in cybersecurity. I've been doing that since 2019, so I've been there for almost 6 years. Time flies when you're having fun. I manage, I'm a senior manager that manages a team of software engineers and cybersecurity analysts. Um, the times have been interesting lately, and so for the first time in 6 years since I've been there, I had to jump into writing code again. So I've been writing code for the last couple months. Um, and the weird thing about it all is I got to a point in my career where, I worked as a lead software developer, and I wanted to get away from writing code and get into management. And I've been in management for 7, 8 years. Now I'm like, kind of like, I want to kind of dabble a little bit. So I have this kind of small window where I can write some code, and I'm going to do it for a while. So I have a busy career with 2 jobs. But the nice thing about teaching, classes are online or at night, so they kind of work out really well. Personal, married, 3 kids. They're almost all out of the house. I have one who's getting married this year in October. She actually finished her last 2. She went to Slippery Rock. She finished her last 2 classes at Point Park. I have one that graduated from Point Park and moved to Boston to get another degree there. She's in Boston. And then I have a son who's 19, will be 20 this year, and he is in the applied computer science program at Point Park. So there you go. Let's see. So it's personal. Love to travel. Wife and I love to travel. This year we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. We had discussed about going to Portugal, Spain, but we decided to do something different. We decided my goal is to hit all 50 states, and we're getting there. I think we're at like 35 or something like that. So we're going to fly out to Seattle and spend some time in that area that we really love. And we're going to kind of travel parts of the West Coast and kind of move ourselves into the mid aspect of the United States. So won't get to 50, but we'll knock some states off. So that's what we like to do. And lastly, I am a home winemaker, avid winemaker. Love making wine. Been doing it for, this going to be my 5th, 6th year, something like that. Start off as a hobby because I was playing basketball a lot, and I blew both my knees out and had to come up with a new hobby. Now my wife probably wishes I didn't come up with that hobby because it became an expensive hobby. And actually the building that we're in right now, this is a building that I have had built and over the past maybe 3 or 4 months. And so I started making wine in my basement, and then I was making it in parts of my house. And now I've moved out to this building. This is on my property. And so this is actually my wine production room. And I'm in the process of obtaining a license to actually sell my wine in the state of Pennsylvania. And so this building will be inspected by the Liquor Control Board here in Pennsylvania. So it's crazy how a hobby turned into something like this, but I love it. An interesting thing about all this is I'm in the process of starting a wine academy at Point Park University. So Point Park offers a academy for people who want to be make beer and people who want to be a distiller. So I'm in the process, the early stages of coming up with that project plan, getting approvals, hopefully this month, next month, and then hopefully in the fall of 2025, this year, that we could roll out the Wine Academy program at Point Park, where people who want to learn how to make wine or be a winemaker or whatever the case is, they'll go through the program that I'll design and teach, and invite a lot of people I met along the way that work in the industry, people that help me out to get where I'm at today. Those people are dear to my heart, and I definitely want them to be involved as well. So I'll have 3 careers basically, but it's fun. I mean, you get to a certain point where, my parents wanted me, my dad was a coal miner. He did not want me to be a coal miner. If you see me, I'm 6'7". I would not made it in the coal mine. So he wanted me to have this career, and I got this career where I wouldn't have to use my hands. And now I'm here I am in my 40s, and I want to get to using my hands. So it's kind of weird how things work out. But anyways, that's me in a nutshell. That was long. I apologize. I'm long-winded. So yeah, this is my new place. We pretty much have a lot of stuff done here. We're working on heat. That's the next thing. I have a heater in here. We're gonna have a splitter installed here soon. Other than that, we're good to go. I look forward to hearing from everyone else's stories. Please respond to other people's stories as well. And take care. Stay warm. Cheers.